Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract success, while others spend their whole life chasing it? It's not luck. It's not connections. It's not even talent. It's mindset. More specifically, it's the habits of the mind, the daily thoughts, the small disciplines, the silent decisions made when no one else is watching. Millionaires don't become who they are just by doing more. They become who they are by thinking differently. And that difference in thought, it leads to a difference in results. So today, let's slow down. Let's listen, and let's explore the habits that change everything. Habit 1. They think in decades, not days. Ordinary minds ask, what can I get today? But the wealthy? They ask, what seeds can I plant today that will grow in 10 years? Millionaire thinking is rooted in long-term vision. They don't chase dopamine. They chase legacy. They understand compound interest, not just in money, but in time, discipline, relationships, and health. Every tiny action is part of a larger picture. Every day is a brick in the castle they are building. So ask yourself, are you sprinting without a map? Or are you walking steadily toward a future you believe in? Pause. Let that sit. Habit 2. They take full responsibility. Millionaires don't play the blame game. They don't wait to be rescued. They own every outcome, even the failures. Because when you take responsibility, you take back power. Life will test you. But if you constantly say, it's their fault, I had no choice, I can't help it, you stay stuck. Success begins the moment you say, it might not be my fault, but it's my responsibility. And that shift, that's where transformation begins. Let that sink in. Habit 3. They master their mornings. Show me someone's morning, and I'll show you their future. Millionaires do not wake up and scroll. They do not rush. They do not snooze. They rise with intention. They prepare their mind before they step into the world. For some, it's silence. For others, it's prayer. For many, it's movement, reading, reflection. It's not about a 5 a.m. club. It's about ownership. Starting your day on your terms tells your mind, I am in charge. That's not just discipline. That's identity. Habit 4. They learn every day. They listen. They stay curious. Because they know you grow at the speed of your learning. While others say, I know this already. They ask, what can I see differently today? They read books. They listen to mentors. They study failures. They don't consume for entertainment. They consume to transform. Rohn once said, formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. And that quote, it's not just poetic, it's prophetic. Habit 5. They build discipline like a muscle. Discipline is not something you are born with. It's something you train. Millionaires understand this. So they put themselves in uncomfortable places. They delay gratification. They do the boring work. They show up even when motivation dies. Because they know discipline is more powerful than emotion. You can feel tired. You can feel uninspired. But if you show up anyway, you are no longer a slave to feelings. You become the master. That is power. That is rare. That is millionaire mindset. Habit 6. They think in value, not in cost. Poor mindset always asks, how much does it cost? Rich mindset asks, what is the value? They don't fear spending if it brings a return. They see money as a tool, not a treasure. If something improves their health, time, income, or peace of mind, they consider it an investment. That's the shift. Don't just ask what you'll lose. Ask what you'll gain. Habit 7. They keep showing up. Everyone feels like quitting sometimes, even millionaires. But the difference is, they show up anyway. They work even when they don't feel like it. They stick to the plan even when the mood is gone. They stay consistent. They know success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do daily. Discipline beats motivation. Thinking like a millionaire isn't about pretending to be rich. It's about building the kind of mindset that creates wealth over time. Start with your thoughts, then align your habits. Because when your mind changes, your life follows. Think bigger, act bolder, and keep becoming more. Daily rituals of the wealthy. Now that you understand the mindset of a millionaire, it's time to talk about how that mindset shows up in daily life. Because mindset is the root, but habits are the fruit. You can think big all you want, but if your daily actions are small and scattered, you'll stay stuck. Success is built in the details, in the quiet hours, in the choices no one sees. So let's break down the daily rituals that millionaires follow to keep growing, building, and becoming more. 1. Morning mastery. Millionaires don't wake up and check their phone. They don't scroll social media while still in bed. They start the day on offense, not defense. That means waking up early, practicing gratitude, reviewing goals, moving the body, feeding the mind. Rohn said, "Either you run the day or the day runs you." How you start sets the tone for everything. Even 20 minutes of focused morning time can transform your day. 2. Goal reinforcement. Millionaires keep their goals visible. They don't just write them once and forget. They review them. They speak them. They visualize them. Every single day. Why? Because what you focus on expands. They write goals on mirrors, on whiteboards, in journals. The more the mind sees it, the more the mind believes it. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your systems. So build systems that remind you of what matters. 3. Block time for deep work. Millionaires don't multitask all day. They create blocks of uninterrupted time to do the most important work. No distractions, no pings, no chaos. They work in flow. Whether it's building a business, writing a book, planning strategy, they carve out time for high-value thinking. 1 hour of focused work beats 5 hours of scattered effort. Protect your focus. It's your superpower. 4. Learning time every day. Even 15 minutes a day. Books, podcasts, audiobooks, mentors. Millionaires are obsessed with learning because they know every new insight compounds over time. They don't watch Netflix all evening. They grow because every level of your life will demand a new level of you. 5. Exercise and health rituals. Success means nothing without health. Most wealthy people move daily. They lift, run, walk, stretch. They eat clean, hydrate, rest, because their energy is their engine. Millionaires don't sacrifice sleep to work harder. They optimize everything, including recovery. You can't build an empire with a broken body. 6. Reflection time. Each day, they reflect. Even just 5 minutes. What did I do well? What could I improve? What's the lesson today? They journal. They think. They sit in silence. Because growth doesn't happen without awareness. And the wisest people know, silence is strategy. Reflection turns action into wisdom. 7. Evening reset. Millionaires don't just crash at night. They reset. They unplug. They prep for the next day. They set out clothes. Review tomorrow's schedule. They set intentions. Because they know success isn't just about what you do. It's about what you plan to do. Evening rituals create momentum. You don't need to copy every habit perfectly, but you must build habits intentionally. Millionaires don't leave their life to chance. They design it. If you want to think like them, you have to live like them. And it all starts with the small daily wins. When the morning, when the mind, when the day, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. They say success leaves clues, but most people never slow down long enough to look for them. They chase money. They chase opportunity. They chase shortcuts. But millionaires, they chase discipline. They chase clarity. They chase the version of themselves that no longer needs to chase anything. Let that sink in. You don't become a millionaire by accident. You become one by decision, not a decision to get rich. That's easy. Everyone says that. But a decision to change your patterns, your priorities, your philosophy. A decision to detach from what the average person clings to. Comfort, distraction, excuses. That's the real cost of becoming successful. It's not just effort. It's evolution. 1. Millionaires think in decades, not days. Poor minds ask, how much can I make this week? Wealthy minds ask, What can I build over the next 10 years that will serve people, solve problems, and create value on autopilot? Millionaires don't need instant wins. They focus on systems, not sprints. They aren't playing checkers. They're playing chess. They invest in assets that multiply with time. Knowledge, brand, people, business, investments. If it doesn't compound, they're not interested. Pause. Ask yourself, are you thinking like a consumer or a creator? Are you obsessed with trends or building timeless value? Millionaires don't build for applause. They build for legacy. 2. Millionaires obsess over self-mastery. The external world is a reflection of your internal state. Your money habits mirror your mental habits. If you're lazy in thought, you'll be sloppy in action. If your self-talk is negative, your bank account will reflect that negativity in time. Millionaires take responsibility for their energy. They reflect. They journal. They meditate. They think. They don't waste time gossiping, scrolling, or reacting. They are responders, not reactors. And above all, they master their emotions. Because a man who cannot control his emotions will always be poor, no matter what's in his wallet. 3. Millionaires are ruthlessly protective of their environment. Rohn said it best. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Millionaires take this seriously. They eliminate energy drainers. They cut off toxic conversations. They walk away from people who play small, complain often, or settle for less. Their circle is not always loud, but it's always aligned. If you want to rise, stop entertaining people who pull you down emotionally, mentally, spiritually. The energy around you is either fertilizer or poison. Millionaires choose wisely. 4. Millionaires learn faster than everyone else. They're not just readers. They're applicators. They devour books, courses, mentors, podcasts. But more importantly, they act on what they learn. They know that the faster you apply, the faster you grow. And the faster you grow, the more value you create. And value always leads to income. You don't get paid by how much you know. You get paid by how much you apply. Knowledge is potential power. Execution is real power. Think of this. Most people learn once and repeat it for the rest of their life. Millionaires learn forever, and they update their strategy every time reality changes. They stay curious. They stay flexible. They stay humble. They don't cling to what used to work. They move with truth, not tradition. 5. Millionaires embrace boredom. Yes, boredom. They understand that success is not about excitement, but about consistency. Doing the small, simple, unsexy things every single day without skipping, like waking up early, like reviewing their goals, like saving before spending, like saying no to the distractions that tempt them. They don't need motivation. They rely on habits. They show up even when they don't feel like it. That's what separates them from the rest. If you only act when you're excited, you'll stay broke. But if you learn to act when you're tired, bored, or stressed, you're on the path to greatness. 6. Millionaires take extreme ownership. They don't blame the economy. They don't blame their boss. They don't blame their parents, their past, or their pain. They own their results, good or bad. When something goes wrong, they ask, what could I have done differently? This mindset is rare, but it's powerful, because when you blame, you give away your power. When you take ownership, you take the steering wheel of your life, even when it's not your fault. Millionaires ask, what now? What next? What can I control? That's how they stay ahead. That's how they rise. 7. Millionaires align with purpose. Money is not the goal. It's a tool. A millionaire doesn't chase money for status. He uses it to serve, to build, to create impact. He knows that empty success is a slow form of death, that chasing dollars without meaning leads to burnout. That's why purpose matters. That's why the richest lives are not just full of cash, but full of meaning. Ask yourself, if money was guaranteed, what would you still do? Do that. Start there. That's where wealth with peace begins. 8. Millionaires ignore the noise. They don't need to prove anything. They're not easily swayed by trends or opinions. They've learned the art of silence. They understand that not every fight is theirs to fight, that not every comment needs a reply, that not every platform deserves their presence. They choose depth over distraction. While others are busy being visible, they're busy becoming valuable. Remember, what's popular is not always profitable, and what's loud is not always wise. Stay quiet, build quietly, and let your success be your noise. Somewhere out there right now, someone is building the life you only dream of. They're not smarter than you. They're not luckier. They weren't born with more. They just made a decision. They decided to stop living on autopilot, to stop blaming the world, to stop waiting for permission to rise. And that's the secret. Millionaires don't wait for permission. They move. 9. Millionaires multiply their time. You can't buy more hours in a day, but millionaires buy back their time. How? They delegate. They automate. They eliminate. They don't waste time doing what doesn't move them forward. They spend time on high-leverage actions. Thinking, planning, creating, selling, building systems. They don't pride themselves on being busy. They pride themselves on being effective. If you want to build wealth, start treating time like the most precious currency you have. Because it is. Ask yourself, what am I doing every day that someone else could do for me? What task keeps me busy, but keeps me broke? What would happen if I focused on only what I do best and let go of the rest? Millionaires ask these questions daily, and they answer them with action. Millionaires are obsessed with serving others. Money is a result, but what causes that result? Value. Millionaires don't just work hard. They serve harder. They solve real problems. They build things people need. They make lives easier, better, faster, more meaningful. They know the fastest way to make $1 million is to help 1 million people. That's not cliche. That's business. Whether it's a product, service, or brand. Wealth is the reward for service done well. At scale. 11. Millionaires invest in themselves relentlessly. They don't think twice about buying a course, attending a mastermind, hiring a coach, or buying books. Why? Because they understand you are your greatest asset. Poor minds think, I can't afford it. Rich minds think, I can't afford not to. Every skill they learn, every mindset they sharpen, every network they join, it multiplies their value. They don't see personal development as an expense. They see it as the ultimate ROI. 12. Millionaires accept boring consistency over exciting failure. Some people start something new every month. They get excited, post about it, and then drop it. Millionaires don't do that. They pick something they believe in, and they stick with it long enough to win. They know success takes time. They understand boredom is a sign they're close to mastery. So they keep showing up long after the excitement fades. If you're always starting over, you're always at zero. Millionaires push through the plateau. That's where the magic happens. 13. Millionaires use failure as a mirror, not a wall. Average people fear failure. Millionaires study it. They look failure in the eye and ask, what did I learn? What can I fix? How do I grow from this? They don't run from failure. They extract wisdom from it. Every millionaire has failed, often painfully, publicly, and repeatedly. But that's why they succeeded. You can't master the game if you're afraid to play. So they play full out. And when they fall, they rise with data, direction, and deeper conviction. 14. Millionaires stay humble in victory and hungry in progress. You won't see real millionaires boasting. They don't need to. Their success is quiet. Their gratitude is loud. Their ambition is steady. They celebrate wins, but they don't get comfortable, because comfort is the enemy of greatness. The moment you think you've arrived, you stop growing. Millionaires never arrive. They're always improving, refining, leveling up. They remain students. They remain seekers. They understand. Growth is not a destination. It's a lifestyle. 15. Millionaires know wealth is a mindset before it's a reality. You don't become rich by waiting for money. You become rich by thinking, feeling, and acting like someone who already holds wealth inside. It starts in your beliefs. Then it moves to your behavior. Then the bank account follows. This is why so many people who win the lottery lose it all. Their outer world changed. Their inner world didn't. Millionaires reverse that. They do the internal work first. Then, when money comes, they're ready. So, what now? You've heard the habits. You've felt the shift. Now it's time to ask yourself, are you living like the person who has already built the life you desire? Or are you still postponing your greatness? Waiting for a sign? Waiting for someone to save you? Waiting for someday? Millionaires don't wait. They decide. They act. They build. Start today, even if it's small, even if it's scary, even if no one claps. Build your new habits. Build your new mind. Build your new life. The millionaire version of you is already inside you waiting. And every day you show up with intention. You bring him closer. Let's slow down now. Close your eyes just for a moment. Imagine it. You wake up tomorrow, not with fear, not with dread, but with purpose. Your life is your own. You move through your day with clarity. You know what you're building. And most of all, you believe it's possible. That's what this is all about. Not money, but freedom, choice, impact, peace. People think becoming a millionaire is about flashy cars and big houses. They're wrong. It's about becoming the kind of person who has control over their time, over their mind, over their emotions, over their results. It's about building a life you don't need a vacation from, a life where you wake up grateful and go to bed fulfilled. That's the real goal. And here's the truth. You don't have to wait until you have money to feel like that person. You can live with excellence now. You can build powerful habits now. You can walk in discipline now. You can think like a millionaire before you become one. And when you do that, when you really embody it, the world shifts. People notice. Opportunities find you. Doors open. You move differently. Not because you're pretending, but because you're becoming. There's a reason the Bible says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. It's not a suggestion. It's a law. You will always live on the level of your most dominant thoughts. So here's what I need you to understand. Every belief you hold either builds your future or blocks it. And every day you wake up and say, I'm not enough, or it's too late, or people like me don't get rich, you are rejecting your own breakthrough. Millionaires don't just have money. They have mindset armor. They don't let failure define them. They don't let opinions slow them. They don't let temporary losses become lifelong excuses. They feel the same fear as everyone else. They just walk through it because they know the price of their dream is higher than the price of their comfort. They don't get rich by chance. They get rich by decision. And then they back it up with action every single day. So what about you? What are you deciding today? Not tomorrow. Not next year. Not when the kids are older or when life calms down. Today. Because your dream isn't waiting and time isn't pausing. The world isn't slowing down, but you can choose to rise. You can become obsessed with your future. You can build systems that pull you forward. You can rewrite your identity one action at a time. You're not too late. You're not too old. You're not too behind. You are ready. So here's your call to action. Not from me, from the version of you you were always meant to become. He's calling. She's waiting. They're watching. The one who took control. The one who said yes to discipline. The one who stopped surviving and started building. Start now. Turn off the distractions. Open that notebook. Write the vision. Take the next step. Even if it's small, even if it's messy, take it. Because that's how every great story starts. Not with perfection, but with a decision. And the habits that change everything, they don't happen all at once. They happen when you show up daily. Even when it's hard. Even when no one's watching. Even when the results are slow. Millionaires aren't made overnight. They're made in private, long before anyone sees the success. That's where you are now, the beginning of something unshakable. So rise, commit, and never stop becoming. If this message is speaking to you, don't forget to subscribe to The Balanced Beat for more life-changing wisdom and powerful motivation. Hit that like button to support the channel and share this with someone who needs to hear it today. We're building something meaningful here, and your support means everything.